Forge FC is ready for their upcoming match.
Simply stunning stuff! And finally, their goal! My word, what a rocket!
Now, let's get you up to date with Anthony Urciuoli and Match Day Preview on the Forge Audio Network.
Hey Forge fans, Anthony Urciuoli with you. It is the Match Day Preview. Forge FC hosting Toronto FC finally. At least a 2-year wait. It feels like longer though. I feel like when we heard the news that there'd be a Canadian Premier League and that Hamilton would have one of the flagship teams, we've been waiting for this moment for Toronto FC to visit Hamilton to take on a professional soccer club, and that'll happen Saturday. Now, I should address, for those of you watching, I should address the fact that there is a cat on the couch in the background. Now, you may be thinking that, hey, that's unprofessional and you know, clean up the space before you... Have you ever tried to move a sleeping cat? That's my question to you. And I'm sure the answer will clear things up for you as to why I left him. I have the battle wounds to prove it as well. Forge FC, feeling pretty good after that win over FC Edmonton. Score was 4-3. They were playing a club who hadn't collected any wins this season. So I think on the face of it, it would appear that, well, why is that an impressive win? It's one of those you had to watch the match to appreciate why it was such an impressive win for Forge and why it was so important. Coming back from 2 deficits, playing the right way for most of the match, over 75% of the possession, and just things weren't going their way, and they battled through it. They showed a lot of resolve, and they got the win. Borges, first ever hat trick in Forge history, which was nice. Abu Sissoko played outstanding box to box. Some young guys got some meaningful minutes. Kwasi Poku, for example. And at the end of the day, Forge got the win. They're feeling pretty good. And now they face a task, and it's interesting. We spoke to Adam Jenkins, who is a play-by-play broadcaster with One Soccer earlier this week. You can listen to that, by the way. It was on the Focus on Forge segment this week. He talked about Forge playing Toronto FC at the right time, and what an opportunity this is that Forge cannot let pass them by. They can raise a trophy at home for the first time. All the things that Forge have won, all the trophies they've lifted in their short time in the 3.5 years they've been in existence, never has it been done in front of their home fans. This is the opportunity. You can do it against an MLS club. It's a way to showcase the league, showcase the players, showcase the city of Hamilton. And Toronto FC is not playing well. They're at the bottom, near the bottom of the standings in the Eastern Conference in Major League Soccer. They have the highest goals against in the Eastern Conference, second highest in the entire league. They're a club that is, I'm not going to say ripe for the picking necessarily, but certainly there's an opportunity for Forge to capitalize on Toronto FC not being as into form as they would hope. And, you know, you play them a little into the future, you run the risk of having to face Lorenzo Insigne and a more healthier squad in general for Toronto FC. So this is Forge's opportunity, and the players and coaches are looking to capitalize on it. Speaking of the players and coaches, I spoke to a bunch, and you're going to hear them. You're going to hear parts of them. If you're looking to listen to full interviews, remember you can do so. You can listen to Coach Bobby Smyrniotis on Behind the Beard. That's available on everywhere that you get your Forge content. Player interviews available by going to the official website of Forge FC. So let's jump into it here. I spoke to Forge head coach Bobby Smyrniotis about the opportunity for Forge to raise a trophy in front of their hometown fans. So Saturday, expecting a pretty big crowd. All the trophies you guys have won, it's never been in front of the hometown fans. So big opportunity this weekend.
Yeah, it's obviously nice. You always want to try and do something here. I think, that's the thing that's secondary in the mind, primary in this. Just getting the tactical plan right, getting the guys engaged, and everyone understanding, for both teams, this is 90 minutes and an opportunity to lift a trophy, We know in these final games it could look good, it could look ugly, it could look a million different ways. But the most important thing for us is to find that way to win and just to dig deep in all aspects of the game, tactically what we need to do, defensively what we need to do, and especially off the ball.
and a lot of the players have been talking about the fact that, there's going to be friends, there's family here. You've been in a lot of big moments in your career. Is this as big of some, where do you maybe rank this in terms of just big moments within Forge's professional career?
Yeah, I think when you look at it as a club, I think it's a big moment. You're playing for a Canadian championship. You have the opportunity to be the first club from the CPL to win this trophy and make it yours. I think so. That's massive. It's one thing we've discussed from the beginning. We're going to give a lot of opportunities to be the first, and we've taken advantage of that in many ways as a club. So here's another one. It's the first time a CPL team will play in the finals of the Canadian Championship. Delayed Canadian Championship, but well deserved on our end. So, that's what we're looking at. And that allows you to keep on creating your culture and keeps on building on what your history will be years down the road.
Now, as much as we will be looking ahead to TFC, I mean, this is the match day preview after all. We can't completely let go of that win over Edmonton because there's a bridge here from one game to the next and how meaningful that game was. Going into the match with Toronto FC, Tristan Borges has not been, let's say, he hasn't been content with the way his game has gone this season. He thinks he can be contributing more, that he could be scoring more, and I think most would agree. I mean, the bar was set very high for Tristan Borges with the way that he started his CPL career and his Forge career, and Borges with a hat trick against Edmonton. I spoke to Tristan, and here's why those 3 goals were so important against Edmonton, and how important it is to be able to carry that momentum against Toronto. Is the effect of the hat trick worn off yet? Are you still feeling a little bit high on it?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's as long as we won. Obviously, 3 goals was nice to get. Just to kind of get the confidence going, especially me. It's been a little bit of a rough patch, not even this year, a little bit more last year, even though I kind of think I ended the season well, just performance-wise. But, I mean, at the end of the day, stats are really important too, right? But for me, it's just about winning. We're already on to the next game, which is TFC, which is a big game. So,
all right, your opponent this weekend, it's pretty self-explanatory, but expecting a big crowd on Saturday here in Hamilton. Of all the trophies that Forge has won, haven't been able to lift one in front of the fans just yet. So maybe just talk about the significance of that this weekend.
Yeah, very, very important. Last time when I spoke about it was to win the CPL final. Obviously, it was something that we weren't really proud of how we finished it. But, anytime we get to play a game just itself in front of the fans, it's already exciting. So to be able to play a quality team like TFC in front of our fans is very, very important for us. And we just want to be able to lift the trophy in front of the fans, the first one of hopefully many. But, yeah, we're really, really excited for this game.
Now, there are a lot of connections between Forge and Toronto FC from the players' perspective. A lot of current Forge players, 7 was my count, that have either played for Toronto FC or came up through their youth program. One of those players, Ashtone Morgan, and I was able to catch up with him.
No, it's good. It's we have a trophy on the line. So getting the fans excited, getting our team excited, getting everybody here at home very excited for this match.
Yeah. Talk about the match. Obviously, everyone knows who you're playing. Mm-hmm. We're not sure which version we're going to see on Saturday.
Yeah.
But what does it mean just for the club to be able to pick up a win against Toronto FC and hoist that trophy?
Yeah, and honestly, it's a big game for both sides. Trophies on the line, and when a trophy's on the line, special moments happen. We're looking to have a special moment at home in front of our fans. So we are very excited for the match, and we're just gearing up for it right now.
Yeah, and obviously there's connection. I think there's 7 TFC connections on this club. So is there a bit of a personal feeling for you, maybe more than some of the other guys?
Yeah, definitely. You have to do and use what you can to fuel yourself for the match, and there's things on the line. Of course, we all have our past, our histories, and that is the history before, and we're looking to hoist another trophy for our future and for our present for Forge.
Now, another guy with a connection to Toronto FC, Emery Welshman, spent some time with the big club and is now a key component of that Forge attack.
And that would be an incredible moment for this club, this league, and this city. So we're going into it, very optimistic. We're going into it confident, but again, we're very we know this opponent. It's got great history. It's a great team, some great players, and it should be an exciting game.
Is it impactful at all that you have history with TFC? Does it change anything going?
To be honest, it's been so long that I sometimes forget that that's where that's a former team. They've changed so much that I think Oso is honestly the only player that I played with that was there. So it's a completely different organization. Like I said, when TFC drafted me, I was a fan before and still am a fan today. But Saturday, it's business. It's they're the enemy on Saturday. So looking forward to that.
When I think of the Canadian Premier League as this almost an extension of Canada soccer and about, giving young Canadian players an opportunity to play, I'm reminded of a guy like Kwasi Poku, who knows? A talented player, quality all around, but maybe a guy that wouldn't have been given an opportunity had it not been for the Canadian Premier League. He's a young player. He's 20 years old. He's getting meaningful minutes at the pro level for Forge FC. He's being asked to do things he never had to do before, playing out of position, out of his natural position, and he's growing as a result of it. And again, would he have this opportunity to grow into a quality Canadian first-team player if not for the Canadian Premier League and if not for Forge FC? Kwasi, by the way, very familiar with Toronto FC. He came up through their youth program, and I was able to chat with Kwasi just about his journey, his time with TFC, and what this match means for Forge and the Forge fans.
A lot of family there. It's going to be good to raise the trophy in front of them. We're excited, we're pumped, and the fans are going to keep us going in that game, so it's great for the support.
Yeah, and your experience with Toronto FC, is it still pretty fresh in your mind? Still a pretty young guy?
Yeah, obviously I came from the TFC Academy, but that's not really what we're focused on, all the stories and stuff like that, facing my old team, revenge. It's not really what I'm focused on. I'm focusing more on, the game plan, what Bobby has told us, and, just getting the win, because that's all we care about, and we just want to bring silverware back.
Bobby's talked about the tactical demand that he puts on his players, and as a younger player, has it been an adjustment to maybe pick up some responsibilities you weren't used to prior to going pro?
For sure, the pro game has definitely been an adjustment, especially playing a new position, left back. I haven't played here for the majority of my career, and Bobby's given me a lot of new responsibilities and tactics that I have to learn, and it's the pro game. You have to learn it. You just have to adjust quickly and just be ready at all times, so it's been an adjustment.
All right. What's more to say? Stage is set. 2020 Canadian Championship Final at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Saturday, 7 o'clock. It's going to be a packed house, but there are some tickets still available, so jump on that. Now, remember, like most home matches, all home matches up to this point this season anyway, beers are $5 before kickoff. So certainly capitalize on that. And don't forget, when you do buy tickets, add them to your mobile wallet, whether it's Apple, Google Pay. It's the way to get your tickets scanned and just smoother process to enter the stadium altogether. So it's a big one. It's one of the biggest matches in the club's history. For many, it might be the biggest match in the club's history, and you have an opportunity to see it firsthand. Beans he's excited. It doesn't look like it because he's still sleeping behind me. But he's excited. I'm excited. We're all excited, and it's coming up on Saturday. Enjoy the match. I'll be there. I hope to see you there.
Forge FC is prepared, and now you are informed. This has been Match Day Preview with Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network. Subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.